Hello and welcome to Where the Living Room Used to Be, a podcast about Rhode Island's music scene. Hey everyone, it's James. So for this one, John and I chat about music advice and his thoughts on the state of music today. We also discuss the high standards that he has, as well as what Coming to America showed him. I hope you enjoy this bonus episode, and as always, please follow along on Facebook and Instagram at Living Room UTB, as well as please rate and review us wherever you listen to your podcasts. What would you say is the best piece of music advice someone before you or someone around you passed along? Is there something that resonated with you?
I think this is what I think it's listening. It's always about. I mean, that sounds kind of trite, doesn't it? Listen, but it's about seeking out. Like I had such personally, I know it's from personal experience. I had such a thirst to learn different things that I would seek out all kinds of recordings and listen. I still do to this day.
Yeah.
So it's like that never stops. I'm always trying to listen to something I've never heard before.
Yeah.
And not necessarily just jazz. Music in general. And I'd say that it's a matter of how much effort you see. It's so easy now to just put on Spotify. No, look this stuff up. Learn what it is. Learn. Take the time to do it. And as a jazz musician, my thing was always when I found stuff that I really wanted, really resonated with me, then I would learn how to transcribe it. I would learn how to write it down. I would learn what made it work. What are the chords? How do those rhythms go like that? And that's how I learned more. But it was just having that incessant need to dig deeper into things.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I think. So I'd listen to everything you can and write everything down you can. And then you get to play it, and enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, was there anything that someone passed along to you,
this is going to define you for the rest of your career type moments? My first teacher, it was more of an attitude than anything else with him. My teacher, when I was at music high school in England, was an older guy, but in all the orchestras over there, and he was just as straight as they came. There was no BS, and it was accountability with him. It's like he expected you to work hard, and if you didn't, he'd let you know. And it was taking it that serious. It's hard to say because I've taken so much of him into the way I act that sometimes I can be very misunderstood at times. I'm very serious about what I do,
Mm-hmm.
and the standards that I have. I expect the same from other people. I expect from myself. That can be misconstrued sometimes by people. But I think I got it from him. It was about take what you do really seriously.
Yeah.
This is an art form that demands a lot of respect. It demands a lot of work. There's no shortcuts.
Yeah.
And pass it on, man. And pass it on to the people. That's what I've tried to do. I've tried to do that. When people really genuinely are interested in how you got to wherever you got, I love talking about that. But there's no shortcut. Just be prepared to work.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't you? This is what we do.
Yeah, I mean, it's that passion that's inside you. I mean, I've personally had that. Like, I kind of wish I enjoyed a safer thing like accounting or something like that as much as I enjoy music, that I would just be like, oh, this will be fine. But I just had this thing. I was like, I'm in.
You can't. Once you've made that turn, I don't even think you get to make that turn. I think you're already in that position. I mean, that was the house I grew up in. It was, wasn't there any musicians in it? There was a love of music in that house, and it's all I wanted to do. I watched that town band play that first time, and I wanted to be in a band and play that cornet,
Mm-hmm.
And for good or for bad, I could be retired from something right now that would have been, who knows? But it's who we are.
Yeah.
You can't deny who you are. And it's been, I've had a good career and I've had ups and downs. Now is a challenging time as a working musician. There's less work.
Yeah.
You look towards, for the first time in my life, I'm looking into opportunities elsewhere that I wouldn't have done before. I don't want to, but you gotta think about those things,
Yeah.
and we'll see. But once you've been struck, and that's it. You're done.
Yeah.
You're a lifer.
And the piece of music advice that you'd like to pass along, is it listen and
Yes, listen, delve into everything. Just be,
yeah,
yeah. It's all in there.
yeah,
It's all in it. It sounds. I don't know how many people take the time to listen. Actually, maybe that's a bigger philosophical point. How many people actually listen to anything in depth anymore?
yeah,
We all get a lot of stuff thrown at us, and we get bits and bits and bits and stuff.
yeah,
There's there's something about really being immersed into something when you're learning, and that learning for me, it never stops and it never isn't exciting.
yeah.
I've got stuff on my desk now. I'm transcribing, and it's fascinating because everything I do is another level of something I learn.
Hmm.
And I do that because I've always gone out of my way to find stuff and listen to it. And I want to know what makes everything work. And I want to know some of these different layers. How does this orchestration? Why does this sound like this?
Yeah,
What are these layers? What made this up? What makes that groove? Why is that groove so bad?
yeah,
What is so cool? And break it down and find what it is. Sometimes the X part of it is that there's just a lot of feeling in it. But there's so many layers of things that get inside that it's exciting, man. It's a
hmm,
discovery all the time.
yeah. And what would you say is something or that inspires you, whether it's musically or just in life? That
That inspires me.
yeah,
I don't think there's any one thing in I take my inspiration from many. I'm pretty much a simple person. I'm outside of music. That's not much outside of music to me.
okay,
It's, you know, I love sports. I'm not saying I'm a semi-rounded person. I'm just saying, but the things that inspire me are usually great. I love people who really play, man. I love great music, and I love people who are creative.
hmm,
It doesn't have to be music in that time. People who are very creative. Um, I like people who are well informed. Um, there's so many things that are inspiring to me, but I tend to find at this stage in life, what's inspiring. When I came to America, the first thing that really stuck out at me, and it's kind of ironic, and we're not going to get into a political thing here, I'm sure, but it was that it was this melting pot of culture.
hmm,
And British people are often categorized as being somewhat cold, as you know. And I have theories on this too. Is that this is very British people pretty much keep to themselves until you add alcohol. That's why there's so many pubs in England.
yeah,
I swear to God, if there weren't 4 pubs on every street, nobody would speak to each other. If I go back to England right now and walk down my high street, I'll walk past somebody, and I will walk past somebody who I grew up with, who'll recognize me, I'll recognize them, and they'll say hello and keep walking. It won't stop and go, man, where have you been? What's
how have
kept
you
that?
been? What
What
have you been up to?
it just
Yeah,
isn't part of what people do there.
yeah,
They're more reserved, at least outwardly.
yeah,
So when I came to America, and you've got the Italian culture, and you got all this, not just Italians, but the people here, your
yeah,
family is everything, and they were so outwardly like show emotion and love for the friends and stuff like that. I thought it was awesome. It was something that I really admired that a lot. I thought this is great. And then ironically, I'm looking at it today and I'm thinking, did we lose that a bit today? Now I'm not sure, but that's probably for another podcast. I'm sure you could get into some of those subjects. But I like tradition. I like culture, but I like this. I want this willingness to move forward and to learn and to be better.
hmm,
And I'm not just the music. It was the people.
yeah,
I mean, I tend to obviously relate everything to music, and one of my inspirations is always music. But people who think for themselves, people have a vision. People are not just mean and nasty and what we're seeing too much of now. And those are the things that I loved about America when I came here. That it was such an open place, and I hope that we don't lose that here.
yeah,
I really do, because that made me feel that this is a place I wanted to be.
hmm,
And especially and as an artist too, because it allowed me to be, to feel free to explore and
yeah.
do that kind of stuff.
Well, awesome, John. Appreciate it.
You're most welcome.
Thank you so much for listening. As we've talked about, John is a part of the lineage of the longest running big band jazz night in America. This night, called Bovi's in East Providence, is home for more than 40 years. And here's a live track of the John Allmark Jazz Orchestra that I'd like to share from this legendary venue. Enjoy.